students, welcome back to the online class of physics. This is Yanaima Miss back with a new lesson, that is work and energy. So this is our new lesson, that is work and energy. So let us learn today about work and energy. What is the relationship between work and energy? So work, we all know what is work, right? To move an object from one place to another is called as work. And to do work, we need some energy, right? Without energy, we don't do anything, right? We cannot do anything. So in this class, we will learn about work and energy. What is the relationship between work and energy? How the word work was introduced, how the word energy came into existence. Okay. So in our previous few chapters, we have learned about various ways of describing the motion of object, right? We have learned about force, we have learned about friction, we have learned about how the movement of motion is taking place, we have learned motion and time. All these things we have till learned in our previous classes, right? So in performing our day-to-day activities also, we use various words like work, energy and power, which are closely related to each other, right? We use so many words like work, power, energy. Somewhere or the other we can feel that they are related to each other. Don't know but how. It is somewhere related. है ना? So sometimes we use this word without paying much attention also. Like in place of work, we may say we have done something, like we will say we have used a lot of power, we have used a lot of energy. We don't know what is like, actually we don't know. Without any attention, we will just use the words. Okay, in this chapter, you will examine these concepts more carefully. We will get into these terms very much, with great explanations. So people carry out various tasks in our daily lives, like example, lifting of weights, carrying of weights, lifting of your bag, taking your books, right? Cooking of food, watering of plant, cleaning of your house, coming to your school. Then these all things, are somewhere, some activities which we do in our day-to-day lives. We play, what we do is playing, when we write, when we listen, when you are writing your classwork, when now you are listening to the lesson which I'm explaining. So these are some activities which involve some energy, right? It may be physical or it may be mental, but it involves some energy, or somewhere they are related. What you're doing now means you are listening to the video of your physics class of work and energy lesson, right? So people carry out various tasks in daily life which we do normally in our daily activities. Similarly, you might have also observed that people employ machines in their homes to carry out different tasks, like blowing of air by fan, by pumping of water by electric motor, heating of water by electric heater, and we use like stitching the clothes with stitching machine. We use nowadays, we used the different type of stoves we are using to cook food. So all these things, like we are using different machineries nowadays to implement a good work, to improve the working capacity. So like we use washing machines for washing the clothes, and vacuum cleaner for cleaning our houses. So all these things we do through machines nowadays in our day-to-day life, right? So what do you need to do these works actually, and how these works are being done, we will learn in this lesson. Both human beings and machines need energy to do work, isn't? Both, either it is human being or it is machine. Okay, they need some energies to work, to do work. Without energy, they don't survive. They can't do any work. Suppose humans, we need energy, but to get energy we will have some food and we work. Then in machines, you can say that without like they have some fuels, or you have some electric current, we pass electric currents, and there the motor works, it rotates and it starts working. So similarly, like human machine also requires some energy to work. It may be mechanical, it may be electrical, it may be physical, whatever it is, but they require some energy. So generally this energy is derived by human beings from food, by eat. for machines through electricity supplied to them, right? In the all the examples mentioned above, we can notice that a person or a machine doing work spends some energy to do work, right? We as a human being also, we don't put out our whole all the force together and we don't do the work. Like if I'm catching the chalk, I'm not putting over all the force on the chalk and I'm catching the chalk. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just holding the chalk, that how much energy this chalk requires, that much energy only I'm giving to this chalk, right? So I'll take this the required amount of energy only. The machine, it doesn't take away all the electric current and it don't wash your clothes, right? It will take the current how much it requires, like how much volt of current it is using, that much only it will use. It don't require need the, it has some limit. So if we say example, if you take the lifting of your school bag, you spend some energy, you don't took up all the energy, you don't spend on your bag. Whatever amount of energy is required to lift your bag, you will use that much energy only. And similarly with the electric fan uses also, some electric energy is used for blowing the air, right? So what do you think, where does the energy goes ultimately? Or is there any transfer of energy while the work is being done? Or can you do any work without the transfer of energy? What are the things that we have a lot of questions here, how these questions can be solved? So let us think about the work you observed and try to identify the forces. Whatever work you have done, try to identify on which work which force is applied. Okay, on which work which force is applied, and on this force how much energy is used. Okay, on which force we are using how much, for which work we are using how much force. Okay, and to apply this force how much amount of energy we are using. Okay, that we will come to. We have to first find out these things. Okay, then you think about the various work you observed and try to understand the force implied for doing the work and the object on which you are doing that work. Okay, then you have to discuss this. If you want, you can discuss this with your friends also. You can observe this in your family itself. You can also see in your surroundings. You can also see in your surroundings what the things are going on around us, how they are working and how they are existing, how the things are going on, how the things, like if you take example of fan only, how the fan is working, how the fan is using the energy, which energy it is using and what energy it is giving. It is taking electrical energy, it is rotating, it is doing the work of rotating, it is taking which energy, it is taking electrical energy, and it is giving out which energy, it is giving out wind energy, right? Blowing air out. So these are the things that different we can observe in our house itself. If you take washing machine also, it is taking what energy, it is taking electrical energy. So it is giving out what it is doing, it is rotating, it is cleaning all the clothes, right? So like this we can observe in our surrounding itself, so many things are present that will show you what kind of work is going on, what the things are going on. So we have to take only basic examples and we will understand what is the matter is. Okay, we will simply understand for what work we are doing and what force we are using to do that work and how much amount of energy we are using to do that work. And this energy, whatever we are using, this energy whatever we are using, we will see that how we are applying on which object. Okay, that the whatever force you are, force or energy you are applying, that will be different for different things, right? It will be different for different things. If you are applying force on a chalk, it will be different. If you are applying force on this board, it will be different. If you are applying force on your mobile, that will be different. If you are applying force to lift your bag, that will be different. So the things, the work whatever you are doing, the force and the energy whatever you are using, that and applying it on the object also depends. Okay, so this energy whatever you are using, it depends on the object what you are using and on which you are applying the force. So we will start with work. We will see what is work. So in our day-to-day life, when you say work, it will depend on your sentence. Many times we will use a word work, right? But depending on the sentence, we will say that what it is actually, what you're talking about. We use in the word we work takes different meanings depending on the situations. For example, the statement like I'm working in a factory, or the is a great work of Valmiki, right? The Ramayana is a great work of Valmiki, or the machine is in working condition. So here whatever you are using, so the Ramayana is the great work of Valmiki. Okay, here the work is different. If you are saying the machine is in a working condition, okay, the machine is in a working condition, okay, then the word is different, meaning is different here. And if you say there are large number of worked out problems in this book, okay, if you say there are large number of worked out problems in this book. So this word work here depends, it's different meaning, right? When you're saying the Ramayana is the great work of Valmiki, the work word here is not something he has worked. Something what we got the book Ramayana is written by Valmiki. So he has done a best job. He has written this Valmiki in a best way and in a very different way, so which is understood and clearly known by each and every simple person also who is illiterate. He can also understand. It's a very great job he has done. Means he has done the work, matlab he has expressed all the things very clearly. So that means Ramayana is a great work of Valmiki. Here work means he is not working, he is not doing some job, right? So the machine is in a working condition, means the machine is doing its work, right? So that means here working meaning is different. There are a large number of worked out problems in this book. That means worked means, and there are some problems which are very large numbered. So there are so many problems which are there in the book, right? There are large number of worked out problems in this book. So they are already done, and there are a lot of problems are there which are to be which have been done. So that means here the word work is different. So we have different meanings based on it. But if we described in the term of science, there is a different meaning. If you say there is a difference between the way we use the term work and the way we use it in science. Okay, so the work word in science is used in a very different way. So the meaning of work in science is different comparing to the usually what we speak in our common language, that is different. So let us compare the work with the normal words what we use in our daily life and with the scientific words. If we see a man, he lifts back from the ground and keep them one by one in a lorry. So do you think he is doing any kind of work? Yes, of course he is doing a work. The he's lifting the bags from the ground, and he's keeping those, that is he is changing from one place to another. Okay, he is moving the object from one place to another. Here the object is what? The object is here bag. Okay, and what he is doing, he is moving from the ground and he is moving to the lorry, right? So that means there is some work done between here, right? He has applied the force on the bag and he has lifted it. He has took from the lifted from the ground and he is placed in the lorry. Yes, so that means there is some work done here, and he has used which force here? In force lesson we have learned which force he has used. He has used muscular force. Which force did he use? Muscular force. If in second example you see a girl is moving she's pulling a toy car on the ground, and trolley moves a distance. Okay, trolley moves a distance. That means she's pushing a car, and that is a toy car, and you see that it is moving from one point to another. That means she has applied some force on the toy car. Okay, she has applied some force on the toy car. What is this now? This is object. Toy car is the object, and it has moved from one point to another. Right, it has moved from one point to another. So that means there is some force applied to move from one point to another, right? And the object is car, isn't? So that means there the girl has applied some force, and which force that was? It is also a muscular force. It is also a muscular force. If we see third example, a boy is trying to push a huge rock lying in the playground. He is trying to push, but the object, what is object here? Object is nothing but a huge rock, right? A huge rock. He is trying to push, but did the object move from one point to another? No, the object has not moved from one point to another. That means here that is not said as work. It is not a work. Similarly, a porter is waiting on the platform of a railway station with huge luggage on his head. So you can see that a porter is waiting. He is just standing there with a huge luggage on his head. Is he moving? So that means no movement is taking place. Is he applying any force? No, because he is standing in one place with a luggage on his head, right? So that means here also we can say that there is no work done. So what do you think you are understanding here from the word, from all this example? That means there should be something which is having force, as well as with force it is even moving from one place to another. Okay, so that is distance is also measured in work, right? So what have we learned? That if we are saying it is a work, then a force should act on the object. When a force is acting, force should act on the object. Okay, when you're saying that actually a scientific term word, then force should act on the object. And the second point is object must be displaced, that is it must be moved from one position to another. So there must be change in position. Okay, there must be change in position. If these two things are there, then that is termed as work. Okay, if you find these two things, then you can say that the situation whatever is there, that is work. So this is the scientific term description. Okay, so in our next class we will learn in more detail what is work. We will go with few of the activities and scientific term work we will try to understand in more detail. Okay, thank you.